Psalm 23, verse 6. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I do not fear evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. You spread a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and loving kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Jehovah for the length of my days. He shepherds us in the third stage of the experience of the presence of the resurrected pneumatic Christ while walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we fear no evil, for the Lord's presence is with us. The Lord is the Spirit, is with our spirit today, and we can enjoy his presence even when we're in the valley. We can enjoy the Lord's presence to be comforted, rescued, and sustained when we are walking in the valley of the shadow of death. We can't avoid having troubles and problems when we live on this earth. We want to have a family, but our wife or husband may give us a hard time, or one of our children may have a certain disease or disability. Even in the church life, as the paradise of God on earth, there may be one particular person the Lord puts us with who is very difficult, and it seems impossible for us to coordinate with them. There may be a big misunderstanding at the office concerning us, and everyone may avoid to speak with us, and there's nothing we can do about it, O Lord. In such situations, the Lord's rod and his staff comfort us. He leads us and shepherds us by his very presence. Our Christian life is not a walk in the park, and not every day is a happy day. Many times we pass through the valley of the shadow of death. There may be a tragedy that strikes, an illness that comes upon us, or we are put in an environment or situation that is challenging, oppressive, and inordinately difficult. The Apostle Paul said that he had the sentence of death in himself. It was so difficult that he thought he would die. Even though everything around us may be so dark, and there's nowhere to turn to, for everything is so difficult, and we are pressed beyond measure, we come to the Lord. We are pressed to come to the Lord as we are, and ask him, why, Lord? What is going on, Lord? How are you going to help me, Lord? The Lord would then care for us by means of his rod and his staff. It may not be the pasture and living water that supply us, but his rod and his staff, and his presence is with us all the time. We simply need to rest in the Lord as we rest in him while walking through the valley of the shadow of death. The valley will be shortened, the shadow will be reduced, and death will be removed.